And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that quick delay. We are back here on the New American Perspective. I am Jania Butler, your host of the New American, and we've been talking about Charlie Kirk, his death, and everything that I guess not necessary that led up to it, because it is just a horrible story. And political violence. Let me say this: political violence has no place in American culture at all, people. And I think that we really need to take that. There was a congresswoman out of Minnesota that was killed about a couple months ago. And I think that we need to start talking about this stuff more, about how people are feeling and how we are polarizing the country for people to get out here and to kill people behind their politics. Now, I have ran for office, and I don't want to be killed as a result of me and my political views. Okay, I do not want to be killed because I want to tell you my perspective on how I think about things. And I think that political violence in any form, and sometimes the flames are fanned by both sides of the aisle, right? The flames are fanned, and it moves on to people that really don't know what's going on and think that they are going to be the heroes and the saviors of this. But there's no hero in this. There's no hero in the Charlie Kirk assassination. And also on the same day, there was a school shooting. And so guns in America is a crazy, diabolical thing. Now, I believe in Second Amendment rights, and I believe that the right people should not have guns in their hands, right? Well, the wrong people should not have guns in their hands. I believe that 150,000%. But I believe that there's a happy medium that we can come to. But when both sides are fanning the flames, when both sides are looking at what's going on and just figuring, oh, well, we're going to say this and we're going to say that, go hit them and do all of this stuff, and think that people are not going to follow along, something is wrong with that. Something is really and truly wrong with that. So we have to definitely look at what we have to do behind this political violence, because again, I don't want to run for office and defy the odds and somebody kill me as a result because I'm a Black Republican. I have to die because of my choices in America. But America's about free choices and freedom of speech. Come on now, something is wrong and something is happening, and either we're
Join me, Jania Butler, for the New American Perspective every Wednesday at 12 noon for an in-depth look of education, politics, economics, and entertainment from Republican and conservative views. The first of its kind on the Millennium News 24 and the Millennium TV 24 network. We will conceptualize and debate the rights and wrongs of the society, and together we will build the New American Perspective and share it with the rest of the world. You can tune in on all iOS and Android platforms, branded smart TVs, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. If you're around the world, Horizon Satellite. If you're in Europe or Australia, the Sky Network. Tune in to MillenniumNews24.com or MillenniumTV24.com. All social media, Millennium News 24. We're live and have the podcast at the same time. I am a citizen, and this is our perspective.
And we are back. Sorry about that. Good people. We are back. Uh, remote location stuff like that. But anyway, so back to what we were saying, and we'll use our last few minutes to really let's look at our empathetic selves. Okay, you know, again, we know that political violence is not something that that we subscribe to here on the New American Perspective. We welcome perspective from any kind, and we really want people to start thinking about their politics. And what Charlie Kirk brought to America was a real thinking about politics. Now, if you feel like you have adverse conversations about it, I think that this is the time to put that into action as well, right? I think that he took his American right. He took his American right and sorry. He took his American right and he put it into action. And so what are you going to do? Are you going to sit around and celebrate somebody's death, when we see that they died of such a horrific death? And are you going to say that and bring horrible karma to you and your family? Or are you going to think about what we need to do in America to make America better? And even around the country, everything going on in America is happening around the country. And I see you for all that you're doing out there as well. So I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear about everything that you're doing with your lives out and about. When you hear what's going on in American politics, what is it that you're thinking? What is it that you're thinking about? And do you look at us and say, oh my God, they're just crazy over there? What is happening in America? And I think that we've definitely got to take a real look at who we are in politics. I'm a Black Republican, but do I agree with everything that the Republicans do or say? I'm not even happy about right now President Trump, promising us, if we voted for you, that Black America would be different. Oh, let me say that President Trump did push $500 million. Now we'll see, what it's really all about. But he just pushed $500 million to the HBCU, and I hope that that helps, and I hope that that's around the way that we've been talking. But we need economic development in urban communities that help the people get to work. So instead of you looking at the criminals and the criminal justice people, look at the people that are entrepreneurs and doing the real work and the real business in New York. Let's take a look at those folks and let's magnify and put them into the right situations, into the right folds, and let's go from there. That's what we need to do. We need to stop looking and saying that one person is it. You have the Al Sharptons of the world, you have the Roland Martins of the world, you have everybody's perspective. And I think that all of our perspectives count, and all of our perspectives should be weighed in what we're looking at. They see things that we don't. They see the old playbook numbers, some of the stuff that we don't. So we've got to listen across the board and see who's capping, lying, cap or no cap. Shout out to Kevin Megget and his Veteran Service Affairs organization that they're working really strong on. Shout out to them. But let's really just take a look at who we are as a community, who we are as a people, what we want going forward, and stick to that. You have Jamal Bryant with the Target fast. Target just now shut down at least one of its stores, and the CEO was replaced. And so they are doing stuff. So stuff can happen and stuff could be done by the power of the tongue, the power of protest, and the power of working together. So again, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. I want to continue to say that because he has a wife and children and things of that nature. I don't think that all the things that he was saying was above board. And no, I don't think that the things that he said was should have been the cause of his death. You got a lot of people out here. You got Officer Tatum. You got a lot of people. You got Stephen A. Smith, who have all these perspectives. And this man was gunned down for his. Now, he was effective with his perspective, and he was using the influence that he was using. But like I said, it is up to us to change that trajectory. We cannot die behind politics, and we cannot have assassins running out in the middle of the street because somebody is running in politics. That is not what we want. Las Vegas, Nevada was built off of the gangster mentality, but they changed their tune and they found a way to make money without killing people in the streets. And so we need to think about that too. We need not be traumatizing the kids being killed on a college campus and all of that kind of stuff. But I this past week it was really rough for me because I look at myself as somebody who is out here making change in the American lane, and I also see people that don't want to change and will kill for the change. And so I have a problem with that. So that's our show for this week, ladies and gentlemen. This is the New American Perspective. I'm your host, Jania Butler. AB Butler will be back next week with the G check. We needed him G checking some things today, but he will be back next week with the G check here on Millennium News 24. And thanks as always for tuning in and taking the time to be with us today. Have a great day.